This is the Nightwolf howling at you, and today we're going to look at the Hunter, part of Ramen Toy's Ramen Armored Vehicles. This is the RAV01, meaning it is just your base tank, and this is scaled to be in G.I. Joe classified scale. So on the front of the box, we just have some nice tank artwork, and it does look pretty nice, doesn't it? If we take a look at the bottom of the box, we just see some more artwork. This thing is made to look like a Foot Locker. It is kind of interesting that they used kind of a Punisher skull on here as well, but this is the bottom. The sides are basically the same, or I guess not a Foot Locker, but a explosive locker, I guess. Explosive box, maybe? Whatever. The other side, again, just has the Hunter Punisher logo thing. But now if we go ahead and we flip it over this way, we see 3 claw marks. So I think that one's supposed to be kind of hinting at the Wolverine, since we do have that accessory pack. And I don't know if anybody can think of any of these other items on this box that might represent the bridge layer. Please feel free to let me know. My one complaint about this, though, to be honest with you, is that while they designed this like a Foot Locker, so you would open it up here if it was like that, or an explosive box, whatever. I don't know what that's actually called in the military. If you know, please comment below. It actually opens from the side. And actually, there is no tape on here. However, you'll still use the knife to help us get the little flappy things out. So this is what we see when we look inside the box so far. Thin cardboard pull tab, which honestly feels like it should rip really easily. Get partially the weight out, turn this a bit, and you can kind of see that there's a foam packaging in there instead of like cardboard or plastic like we see with most of these kind of vehicles and toys. Accessories, however you want to put it. Up top, real quick, we got our sticker sheet and instructions here. I'm not sure how many of these stickers I'll actually use, to be honest with you, because as I think I've mentioned in other videos, I hate stickers. Pull the cardboard sheet off of there. We'll flip this over like this. Take the smaller section off. And you can already see the top of the tank. Put it like this. This is how it is packaged in there. So they did a really good job with this foam. This is definitely better than styrofoam, more easy to reuse, I would say, because it's like, what is this called anyway? But yeah, this is definitely a much nicer way to package stuff than the plastic. Because if you remember from the Robo Skull, how much problems I had trying to get shit out of that. Let's go ahead and pull the tank body out of here. But wait, folks, that's not all. As you can see, we have the turret right here. Stick that in place. And then we have another section that opens up here with some more equipment of ours. So here's our instruction sheet here. It shows all the parts that come with it. We have the hull, the turret, the main gun, the antennas, the machine gun, and the gun support. It shows us how to attach the main gun, the installation of the antennas, and the machine gun. Here's how the hatch works, and it shows that our seat in the hatch swivels. We've got a hook on the back for towing. Clasp hook opens slightly. We'll have to see how slight that is. Main gun elevation and depression angles. It shows us how to take the turret off. It looks like there's a large section and a small section here. So you can only put it on and off one way. And then we have a gun magnetizes to the hull. What is it with this company and magnetic crap? So that's our basic instructions. So let's go ahead and put this bad boy together. I think the turret is backwards right now. Right? Because this should be the front of the tank here. Although, well... Actually, let's take the top off here first. So we can take a look inside. So we got the 2 control levers here. They move. We have I think that'd be like the dual stick for actually moving the tank treads. Would those work individually or singularly? Got tons of buttons. We got a couple different screens here, and we have 2 seats. They kind of move a little bit, not much. But this will fit 2 figures inside, right? Set that over here for a moment. Here's that, the hatch there that opens up. That would be the gunnery seat. As it mentions, it does swing around. So that would be, I guess, if you want to have them look like they're standing or sliding into the spots. Probably not necessary. Looks like we also have this little... I don't know if this is like supposed to be a camera and a spotlight, maybe. Though there's no electronics or lights in here. Let's see if I can angle this so you can see. It does look like if you were imaginative enough to create a LED light to put in there with like maybe a watch battery to light it up with. You could fit something up in there so that light would come out of there. Maybe with a foil backing or something. But that's that option. I don't know if you can see it. Here, that's better. There's a couple grooves there inside the barrel of the main gun. And then right here, there's a groove here. So it looks like to put that on, we have to kind of fit that in place. I kind of wish that was a little bit bigger so it was more noticeable and easier to get into position. There we go. We got the main barrel on. We have our antennas and we have our main gun. Main gun plugs into here. All right. Also, it's not a complete circle peg. There is a small line there to help you position it properly on here. Because if you notice, this bolt base has angles on it to go on the angled top part here. Oh my gosh. So we'll put that in place now. Oh, that was easy. I was expecting that to be as much of a burden as the other thing. The 2 tank antennas, they fit pretty loosely in there. Like, they're not going to just pop out, I don't think. But they're really easy to get out also. I'm not sure what these are for, though. Because I don't... This wouldn't work with the bridge layer, would it? This part here? Huh. I don't think it would. And then we have another magnetic item here from Ramen Toys. Magnetizes to the hull like that. So then I guess this would be if you put the gun at rest. So you'd have the turret backwards and then put that in there. Of course, while it does on a hinge here, it's not really very practical for hinging down. And actually, I'm guessing that would probably be the way it would go anyway. So before we get the top of the tank in place, let's see how this works with a couple of figures. Representing G.I. Joe, we've got Gung Ho. He's one of our taller figures. We've got Duke, one of our average figures. And we got Scarlet, one of our sexier figures. I mean, female figures. Why is her... I'm not a big fan of this belt, by the way. Okay, but I picked these guys. They're all retro card, to be honest. But I picked these guys because they represent, like I said, 3 different sizes of G.I. Joe figures. Oh yeah, I forgot. Scarlet had a uniboob, didn't she? So let's see how well these guys can fit in here. Well, Duke fits in fine right there. The big challenge, as always, with G.I. Joe figures and vehicles is getting them to hold on to the steering controls. Oh my god. Just out of curiosity, I just want to check something. Does this thing pop off by chance? Nope. Damn. I was hoping it would. I was really hoping it would. So we'll throw Duke back in there. Try again to get his Kung Fu grip to grip the yoke. Yeah, it's too bad Steeler hasn't come out yet. Ah, God. We got one in, but not the other. Hold on. Kind of hate to do this, but there we go. So I'm trying to bend his fingers out enough to get him to hold on to here. Okay. Okay, there we go. We now have Duke in there holding on to both control sticks. Well, we can be pretty sure that Scarlet's going to fit in there okay, so let's go with Gung Ho next. I'm going to bet Gung Ho will not fit in there very well. I'm not even going to try Sergeant Slaughter. The other problem is, I don't know if I don't know if it's his extra equipment here that's causing an issue, so we'll swing that stuff up. Kind of get that out of the way. Ow! By the way, these two clips just popped off of there while I was doing that stuff. Those are on the front here. All right. So I'm going to call it the larger figures will not fit inside the main part of the tank. Since we did do Gung Ho, we will go ahead and just throw Scarlet in there. Scarlet might have a different problem. Her arms might not be long enough to reach. I'm going to try to bend her knees a bit here. See if I can use that to get her a little bit closer to the controls. Let's be honest, though. You're not bloody likely to be... If you're going to have the tank turret on here, you're probably not going to be putting these guys in here like this. But yeah, okay. That's kind of a pain in the ass to try to do, too. Although Scarlet would fit in there. Oh, for crying out loud. Her belt gets in the way. I'm not going to fight with that anymore. But yeah, Scarlet should fit in there just fine. Of course, now we're going to take Duke and Scarlet both out of here. And we're going to put the turret back on top. So this side's a little bit longer than this side, so I think that needs to go over here. Let's lower this down again. All right. Maybe I have that backwards. Maybe I might have that backwards. Yeah, I'm stupid. Okay. So now we've got this on here. Ooh, the tank barrel can go down about that far. And up about that far. Now we have this magnetic piece of crap back here. Let's go around this way. I thought it wouldn't pop off if I went that way. I was afraid it was going to pop off if I went... Ugh. I am terrible at this. Okay. So now we can move this back here. The idea being, I guess, this goes down. And it locks into place like that. But again, that thing's just magnetized on there. Oh, wow. All right. It stayed in place at least. This is just stupid. I'd rather have saved $1 on this thing than have that piece of crap there. Oh, yeah. We've got these little rope holders, I guess, so if you need to drag it out. But remember, I talked about that little tow hook. And when they said it opened a little, they meant a little. Can you see that? I do not know if we would be able to hold anything like the missile launchers or so forth with this little tow bar. Maybe, maybe not. But that is as wide as it opens. That is not a whole lot. And now let's not forget these things that popped off earlier. All right, so now we're going to check out the gunnery seat. Let's raise the camera again. Give us a nice little bird's eye view here. There we go. Duke fits in there just fine. I mean, it's not like you're going to do 360 with this machine gun anyway. But I guess depending upon how you position his arms too, can depend on how it goes. This would be the spot you would put Steeler in if he had come out already, but he hasn't. But that looks pretty cool, don't you think? Yeah, I should have saved Duke for last. Okay. However, getting him back out again. There we go. I had to swing that seat. Because remember, the seat... Ow. Seat there. Swings in and out. Let's see if Gung Ho can do this position. Again, it's very possible that his thigh gear is going to get in the way. Oh, yeah, there we go. We got him. Sort of. You know, I kind of feel like the machine gun is there more to help keep the figure in place than anything else. Houston, we have a problem. Swing the seat away again like we did with Duke. There we go. So you can get the figure in with the seat in position to seat them. But, oh my god, I can't reach the seat now. But you basically have to swing the seat out of the way if you want to get the figures out. I mean, putting the thing in place isn't hard, but it's a bit tricky to get everything lined up. Last but not least, we have our darling Scarlet. Huh. Her ponytail fell out at some point. That stupid holster thing gets in the way quite a bit. So Scarlet works just fine too, like Duke. Okay, so we've talked about the cockpit. We've talked about that part there. We have not talked about the treads yet. The treads are, in fact, rubber. They spin. And let's see, where's my... If you look down here, you can see that they've got these, each tread is on a separate axle setup. And that's because they're all spring loaded. And then everything moves. I guess that's tanky noise, huh? So just to get you guys a better look at this, like I said, each one of these is individually spring loaded. So you should have no problem going over those hard to reach spots and climbing up mountains and shit. Well, probably not a mountain, but you know, the hills and stuff. Oh my god. How the hell did that... Now, also, in case you're wondering, we got this top area here on the Hunter. There's a little groove here, so this obviously comes off. We can pop it off, and it's not like an engine or anything. It looks like this is just a spot to attach accessories. I want to take the turret off real quick. Because it looks like this back part here should come off too. Maybe. Or maybe it doesn't. Because this right here looks like it should pop off also. But there are no instructions on that for this video. So I am thinking that hopefully if this comes off with an accessory set, it'll be listed in the instructions for the accessory set. So we'll wait until then. All I know for sure is that that front section comes off as well. Honestly, I did not think this would fit on the turntable, but it did. So I'm kind of happy about that. But let's go overall. I think on this one, this is actually a really good, relatively inexpensive classified series vehicle. I know I got it at the reduced early bird pre-order price, so I'm definitely paying less than what you would if you go and buy it now. So I am glad I picked this up. Now, just as a reminder, there were 2 accessory packs that were made for this as well. One was to turn it into the Wolverine CoverGirl's vehicle, the missile launcher system. And the other was to turn it into the bridge layer. I did pick up both. I got 3 of these things and the 2 pack. Now, again, this is where I am kind of pissed about this setup though, because I'm going to have 3 full tanks and turret. And I'm going to have to set 2 of those turrets aside because of, I'm pretty sure 2 of them. Again, I'm not sure how the bridge layer is set up, so we'll see. But I think they would have been better off and probably would have gotten even more sales if they'd sold the base of the tank separately and then allowed you to pick up the turret, the Wolverine, or the bridge layer attachments. I think that would have been a better business model for this vehicle. And I think that would have increased sales because there's a lot of people who probably were not going to pick up 3 of these just to do the other 2 vehicles. Because one, if you look at it like this, I think the accessory packs were like $89 or $90. I think they were a little bit cheaper in the pre-order, but let's just go with that, $90. So if you like reduce the price of this, you sell just the base here for like $40 less or $50 less, and then you sold the turret itself for that $50, maybe like $60 to go with the packaging you'd have to do or whatever. I don't care. That way you're still letting people save money by buying 3 bases, 1 turret, 1 Wolverine top, and 1 bridge layer top. Instead of now, once I get this done, I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do with the 2 extra turrets. And that annoys me great. But anyway, why don't you guys let me know what you think of this in the comments below. But I will be doing a review on all of the accessory sets for this. And I haven't decided yet if I'm going to just post them all the same week or if I'll spread them out a little bit. We'll see what I decide. I'm still learning the new software. But why don't you tell me what you guys think of our Hunter tank here, and how many of you are going to buy this to go with that Steeler figure coming out in the near future since Hasbro decided not to give us the Mobat. And if you enjoyed my nonsense here, please feel free to subscribe, smash that like button, and as always, thank you for watching. Peace and love.